there, the first 45 minutes, they absolutely blew Manchester City away, and there was literally no response there. And look at that squad. I mean, the players not even available. I mean, it's frightening. This team, and I wrote down in my notes, the quadruple mentality is back on. They're not stopping, they're a train, and when they're on it, you literally can't stop them. And manager picked the right team. They went for it. In 45 minutes, game's done.
This is the Chelsea we know. You know, this is the Chelsea that just get it done. You know, we said it. Yes, tactics. You know, the fourth game in a series against Man City in 13 days, but it wasn't necessarily about tactics today. I thought it was about energy, the hunger, the desire. You know, I totally agree with Jem Beattie. The front three for Chelsea were unbelievable. They set the tone from minute one. You know, Ramirez, James, Ritin-Canary was unbelievable. Yeah, just this is the Chelsea way. You know, this is the Chelsea that I think me and Kaz are part of. They just have an unrelentless desire to win, and it comes through in big matches. The last time Sonia Van Pastor turned around a tie, she was at Lyon, beat Juventus, and then she won the Champions League. So maybe that's a sign for Chelsea.
What do you think is a sense of relief for Van Pastor tonight? Because effectively she's been bought in to win this competition. She is a serial winner in it, and that must have been on their radar.
She's probably feeling that pressure because she's inherited a brilliant squad from Emma Hayes, and then has gone and added people like Gurma, Kira Walsh, Lucy Bronze, Baltimore. The list goes on. So the staff have said, go on, we've brought you in, you know how to do it, go get it done for us. And look, that's easy said and done, bring people in. You still have to pick the right team, motivate them and get the job done. But like I said, that team will be in there thinking, we want that quadruple, and we're not going to stop. Lucy Bronze's mind will be ticking, quadruple. It will, and you can see it now. And like I said, they're a train. It's very hard to stop them.
All right, well, we're going to get into all of it. We'll take a look back at the goals and discuss what went down in just a moment. Welcome back. Whereas Chelsea, they've managed to overturn a 2-goal deficit tonight to book their place in the semi-finals of the Champions League. They will face Barcelona for the third year in a row in the semi-finals. But for now, it's all hugs, it's all smiles. Millie Bright is loving life there, Annie, at Stamford Bridge. And just a game plan that was well thought out and played out tonight.
Absolutely, and I think the energy from the league game at the weekend really carried through. It was all about the fast start. You know, it's not complicated, but you do have to bring that level of energy and intention, and that's exactly what they did. And I think by the time of half-time, City was shell-shocked, couldn't recover. Too much damage was done in the first half. And as I said, Chelsea just know how to win. They know how to get it done.
That defeat, Karen, was that just a bump in the road or one-off?
No, I thought City deserved it in the first leg, and I think it was a rocket that was needed for Chelsea to know that if you don't play to the levels, there's other top teams out there and they can match you in 11v11. So I think it was a bit of a rocket, but you saw tonight that when they turn it on, like I said, that when they're all at it, when they're playing at the levels, they're unstoppable. And that's what they were in the first 45 minutes. They won the 1v1 battles, they were aggressive, they were front-footed, and the biggest thing, they were fresh. In the last week's leg, when they were 2-0, they were lethargic and weren't up to the ball and gave Manchester City too much time and space. City had no control in the game today, particularly in the first half. So, brilliant performance from Chelsea, and they absolutely deserved it today.
All right, well, let's get some reaction, because goal scorer Natalie Bjorn and captain Millie Bright are talking to Katie Shanahan.
Guys, you're through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Millie, what a comeback.
Yeah, 100%. It was, you know, we were never in doubt. I think, you know, Nat said it in her interview prior to the game that we had full confidence within ourselves. And I think even from the first leg, we had opportunities to go on and win that game. So, yeah, we were really confident within ourselves. And still from the game, we could have had way more than 3 goals. But, yeah, just unbelievable mentality and desire to come back, and a true Chelsea performance.
Natalie, a great header from a set piece. How good was the feeling when you saw that go in?
I know we've been speaking about one of us has to score soon. We need to score. And then I had a good opportunity before, and then I was like, now it's time. And the feeling was amazing.
And Millie, even by your standards, that was a good header.
100%. We literally said before the game, I was like, it's one of us, so we better get in the back of the net. But yeah, she's unbelievable. She's been outstanding for us, and yeah, top quality performance today again.
How hungry were you as a team to overturn that 2-0 deficit? That seemed like a real fight out there.
Yeah, but like Millie said, we feel like we had a good game last game. We gained a lot of confidence, and we know to play at Stamford Bridge, it's our home base, it's our home. To come here and play is not easy, and I think we did a really, really good performance today.
And the quadruple is still on. And nights like this certainly give the fans hope.
Yeah, 100%.
And Millie, Barcelona next, who historically have had the better of you, but a chance to put things right.
Yeah, we're a new team, we're on a new journey, we're in a new era, so yeah, bring it on.
And just the feeling you guys embraced at the end, I mean, through to the Champions League semi-finals, I mean, this is really special.
Yeah, we're so, I want to swear, but I can't swear. We're really, really happy.
I'll save you. Well done.
Please do not swear, Natalie Bjork, but we wouldn't blame you because the excitement that you girls must be feeling. Yeah, exactly. It's after the watershed, isn't it? After the watershed. She was a little bit coy there as well, though, was Natalie. She didn't want to answer that question about the quadruple, did she?
Yeah, when it was out, and then she turned to Millie as if to say, Captain, what can I say here? And Millie was like, it's poker face. There's just conversations in there, and look, they're being very diplomatic, but I'm telling you, in that dressing room, there have been big conversations about it. Might not be to us out here, but they have a mentality. Millie mentioned it, the mentality of that group, and I've said it, Tom, they're mentality monsters. They are not stopping. They want that quadruple. The manager does too, so it'll be so interesting now.
I think the quadruple's important, but if they're honest with themselves, the Champions League is the one. The Champions League is the one for Chelsea women that has eluded them, right? So if you could ask them, even if they don't do the quadruple, if they win the Champions League, I think that will be the one for Millie and all the players that have been trying to do it for years. You know, to win this tie and still be in it, up against Barcelona in the next round, who've sort of got Chelsea's number, obviously beating them in the final in 2021. I think that's the one the players want. That's the one Bon Pastor's won, and I think Chelsea owners brought her in because she's done it. And I think it'll be interesting to see the mentality now to go and try and win that trophy that's always eluded them.
All right, well, Millie Bright, she said they could have had more goals today, but they got the 3. Mayra Ramirez was integral in all 3 of their goals.
Oh, she's beast mode, like literally there, like play it into her, she pins it. The pass wasn't even safe side, and she makes something good of it. And then Baltimore, and you know what's interesting about Baltimore is Chelsea haven't had a left-sided left back. Since I don't know when, and she's brought in so much balance to that side. A great signing from PSG in the summer. And look, Ramirez again, like bullying past people. You can't defend her any.
Yeah, she's such a presence. And actually, you look at Man City, I think that's what they missed. You know, they missed that sort of Bunny Shaw, that driving presence. You know, great header from Bjorn. You know, she was talking, obviously, in the interview there. It was either going to be her or Millie that scored from a set piece, and those are always important. Again, front 3, pressure. Lauren James doing the off-the-ball work that she should. And again, Ramirez, you know, scrappy goal, but she won't care. It went in. Brilliant performance from the front 3 and brilliant performance for Chelsea.
Were you surprised that Manchester City couldn't find a goal anywhere, Karen?
Oh, you know what? I thought they'd get a goal tonight. I was convinced by it. But you know what, Becky? I think they were tired. You know, this is a group that have got 5 people on the bench, limited squad, lots of injuries. So that shot there is like, carry on, take you on a little bit of the dribble, don't have the long-range shot. So I'm not, you know, they've got the quality. I just think tonight the decision-making, that's a good save there as well. But they were all kind of like long-distance stuff. Yeah. And for City, when they were at their best, it was trying this again. Good moment from Viv Miedema. You liked this, didn't you, Annie?
I mean, Miedema's just so intelligent. She knew exactly what she was doing there, waiting for the defender to sort of open that opening. But I think Miedema, to be honest, was the only one for Man City that looked dangerous, that looked like a threat. She was getting frustrated in the first half. You could see that she was sort of carrying the game on her shoulders, moved position for the second half, but it just didn't quite click for them.
No joy for City tonight, but a delighted Sonia Bonpastor is talking to Katie Shanahan.
Off you go.
Sonia, you're through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. What a special night.
Yeah, as you just said, what a special night in front of our fans in Stamford Bridge. You know, after the game, the first leg game, I knew we could do it. But it's something to say and something to turn words into action. But I think, tonight I'm so proud of my players. They just had a really great performance. And I think, we deserve to go through.
What gave you that belief?
Just from my experience, you know, as a player, but also as a manager in football, when you are live, everything can be possible. And I think I told my players, we are having a really great season so far. We didn't have this scenario before where we had to come back in the game with 2 goals conceded. So tonight is a night for us to create memories, and the girls just did that. They believed it was possible, and I think they just put all out there.
Was that your best win as Chelsea manager?
I had some good ones, but I think, this one is a special one for sure. Because, as I mentioned, I think losing the game by 2 goals, it's never easy. We just believed it was possible. And, this is why football is magic. And we live these emotions. This is why I really love football sometimes.
You certainly wanted a response. So did your team do everything that you wanted them to do tonight?
Yeah, I think so. As you could see, we started the game strong. I think we were able to score the 3 goals in 45 minutes. Actually, I made my plan wrong because I told them we have 90 minutes to score 3 goals, but we did that in the first half. And I think if we play that way, we are really a really good team.
Barcelona next, and as someone that's won the Champions League as a coach and a player, do you think this team can go all the way? Do you think they have what it takes?
I mean, we have all the quality to go all the way. It will be, again, tough games against Barcelona. They have a lot of experience, talent in the squad. But I think for us tonight, it's more time to enjoy. I think, it's a really great performance we need to enjoy first, and we'll see later how we can focus on going into the semi-finals against Barcelona.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Understandably delighted, but just her experience that she brings to this squad, how invaluable is that now we're at this stage of the Champions League?
I think she said it in her interview. She's got experience as a player, as a manager, and she'll lean into that. And she has to lean into that to that group, because you mentioned that there's people like Kira Walsh and Lucy that have done it, but some of the players haven't.
Yeah.
And they might just need that little bit, what she can do to get them over the edge.
Well, should we have a look at what the draw is looking like for the semi-finals? Because we're grinning like Cheshire Cats because there's 2 English teams at the semi-finals.
Good to
so
see.
the dream of an all-English final is still alive. So Arsenal overturned their deficit last night to book a place against Lyon. That is going to be a tough one. Joe Montemuro, ex-Arsenal manager, is now the manager of Lyon. And then you've got Barcelona-Chelsea, where Chelsea might feel they've got a score to settle there, Rennie.
Absolutely. I think, the hurt from the final in 2021 will still live with those players. Didn't perform on the day, but Barcelona's the biggest test. It is. And that mentality they've showed tonight, they've got to take that into the next leg. And then it's about performance on the day, because we all know what Barcelona can do.
Karen, just quickly, your reaction?
Arsenal-Chelsea final. Is that quick enough for you? That's what I want. That's what I want. So come on, make it happen.
Let's manifest it. But yeah, well done to Arsenal and to Chelsea. Well, what a night for Chelsea, booking themselves into the semi-finals of the Champions League. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.